Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If it's your first time joining my channel, my name is Lucifer, Lord of Hell, uh, King the Conqueror, also known as the High Evolutionary. And if you're wondering what is Lucifer doing on Earth, well, let me tell you, he's talking about everything that the Earth is made of, which is what business and spirituality. Yes, sir, Bob. So, anyways, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. And I'd like to talk about something real quick, because sometimes in the world of conspiracies, people talk. There's a thing called like HARP. People talk about how these groups. Oh, and before I start, let me just give. Let's rewind it back. Let's take a deep breath. If you want to, close your eyes. And I would like to say thank you to. I would like to show gratitude and reverence to the lords of the infernal realms. Um, I would like to show reverence to Lucifer himself. I would like to show reverence to all the spirits that dwell um, and that wishes good things upon me. Um, I would like to show reverence to the darkness that surrounds me, that guides me throughout my day, my life, and all the hours of the day. Thank you. So now, let's start the video. So, it's been known for years that they, Illuminati, and things like that are controlling, are capable, have the technology to manipulate um, the weather. But we also know, well, maybe for the more spiritual people, the more mystical people, they might also, not only are they aware of that, but they might also be aware that there are people or groups of people that are not affiliated with the Illuminati that can also control the weather. And it's an interesting thing because I was looking at the rain outside today. It was raining this morning. And it made me think. I've spoken about this before, and I've even spoken about this to one of my viewers in particular, and there is such a thing as, I believe I believe that the Illuminati, when it comes to the chosen ones, because I believe that the chosen ones, whatever that means, the chosen ones also are, I think they have, I think the weather follows them. I believe if you meet a chosen one, I believe like chosen ones have, they have some power over the atmosphere. And by that I mean, like, of course, if you vibrate on a higher frequency, you might find that everything else is vibrating with you. But and that's one thing, because you can vibrate at a higher frequency, and you might notice that the day is just right. But I feel in those specific, the reason why I feel like it's two different subjects that I'm speaking of right now is because I feel like sometimes people go with the weather, like the weather actually helps them to vibrate to a higher dimension, dare I say. Um, and that's fine. But I don't like that idea. That's why I hesitated there. because I don't really like that idea that I don't feel like I need to see a good day in order to have a good day, right? Because I believe that I'm a creator. I believe that we are creators, that we are gods. So we do not need, some of us are gods, some of us are creators. So I do not need to, even if it's raining outside, the rain is not going to depict how I feel. I am the one that is in control of how I feel. Exterior sources does not hold power over me. I'm the one that's supposed to hold power over it. Of course, it's not. And I'm oversimplifying. This is an oversimplification here because, in a context that you want to become one with everything, of course, there is a. You're going to end up in another dimension where you are synchronized with everything that's around you, right? And that's also, I feel like these are different happenings. I feel like these are different subjects. I don't feel like in the subject of controlling weather, it's either you're vibrating at a certain frequency and it just so happens that that's how it is, that you're having a good day, or you're vibrating on the vibration that you want to vibrate. And then there's also, you might wake up and just be aware of your surroundings and vibrate, basing your vibration due to what you are perceiving, right? So those are two different types. And then there's a third type, which is more in line with what I'm saying, because I do those two other things. There's three ways for me to, well, there's more than three ways to manipulate the weather, but I do those things too. Like sometimes I wake up, if it's a bright day or a more rainy day like today, I might vibrate at a certain vibration, right? I might vibrate at a certain vibration, right? And then also sometimes I will wake up and I will start to vibrate before I even see anything, right? So, and in those days, I feel it's because it's not only because I have a boost of energy or I had a good night's sleep, which does help for you to vibrate on a higher frequency, a good night's sleep. Um, and recharging your battery, and having a good night's sleep does help with your vibration if you feel like vibrating. But there's some days I feel like it's just, you're just in tuned with the vibration of the universe, right? And those days are more special. I feel like those days are more special because those days tend to have a event connected to it, which you will notice that you are synchronizing with those events, and everything is just seem to fall in line. Whether it's a huge thing or a small thing, it doesn't matter. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare your events to my events. Your events are just like significant. As a matter of fact, I would say I would say that my major events, even the ones that you have witnessed me doing here on YouTube, might be small compared to the little events that you see in your life. Why? How can that be? Well, sense of scale. I'm sorry, Lucifer. Just let me do my thing. Relax. Chill, chill. I'm talking to the people here. I'm talking to the people, man. So, um, and this is important to know. It's important to know. It's a good thing to keep in mind. It's a good thing to keep in mind because you listen to like spiritual gurus that got their shit together. They have like three fucking Ferraris. Right? They got three fucking Ferraris, banging hot ass wife. You know what I mean? Like, the shit. Like, relax. Like they're body lifting, they're body lifters and shit. They're bodybuilders and shit. Like, yeah, chill. Or you just listen to a guy that has like a lot of knowledge and shit like that, like me and shit like that. I got all those things too. No, I don't. But like, don't compare yourself to other people, because like before I even got to this point, I had to be aware of the small things before I got to this point. Like, I had to be aware of the small things before I got to the point where I could do the things that I'm capable of doing. Which are things that not a lot of people can do. You know, um, so, but just because I can do those things, it doesn't. You shouldn't see it as you shouldn't compare yourself to me, because if you compare yourself to me, then you're gonna miss out on everything that you're supposed to see, right? So, I mean, no disrespect, Lords of Hell, because they're doing big works for me right now, huge works. Um, and some of these things have never been done before. A lot of the shit that I'm doing here has never been done before. There's nobody on YouTube doing what I do. Nobody. 0.0000001%. Like, there's no one does what I do. Um, so, but like I said, don't compare yourself to me. Like, if you just started magic, like, look for those little things. Maybe something big might happen. Maybe you're just like me, because you have to understand, like, if you're watching this video, it's not for no reason, right? If you ended up on my channel, it's not for no reason, because you could be listening. You could be like everybody else and listen to like all the crap that's out there, but you're not. You're sitting here listening to this. So if you're sitting here listening to this, there's a reason why you're listening to this. Like, so you could be like me, and if you notice what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm saying, you might see big things too. Because I see big things too. I see big things. I see big synchronicities as much as I see small synchronicities. I still see small synchronicities, and I'm grateful for those small synchronicities too. It's not just of course, nowadays I'm like looking for the big things all the time, but that's a force of habit. It's when you're used to, when you're spoiled, and you're used to big things happening. You're kind of like, oh man, what's the next big thing? What's the next big thing? So yeah. um Give me a moment here. So, as I was saying, I was thinking about something. I'll tell you later. So don't compare yourself to me. Like, let these happenings happen, because, like I said, what I want to talk about, the reason why I'm emphasizing on this, is because, like I said, I believe that chosen one have this innate ability, and I don't know if I should call it an ability, but I feel like when you like hurt a chosen one's feelings, I think that the it changes the weather, like it changes the atmosphere. And I have noticed this, because when I was younger, I used to kid around a lot, and I might have hurt somebody's feelings once, and I did notice that the weather would change, like it would start raining, like somebody, or I would see somebody get clowned, and it could be my emotions too that didn't like, because I was a weird kid. I had a complicated upbringing, you know. I was a bully, and then I was bullied, and then I became a bully, and then I stopped bullying again. Then I started bullying. I was all over the place. So very chaotic. I was a very chaotic kid. I wasn't good and I wasn't bad. I was just it was just pure chaos. Uh, it's like it was just chaos. So I did notice sometimes some people, like somebody would get clown and then like the atmosphere would change, like as if you're not like that kid, had some kind of control over, the temperature. And I noticed, and at that time I shit you not, I had no power over weather at that time. Zero. And the only I only noticed that, well, I remember it like yesterday. I remember it like yesterday. I was having a conversation with one of my family members, and we were talking about like ghosts and shit like that. And my family member was like really into music, and she was like, check this shit out. She pulls out a laptop and she shows me this fucking video, and she's like, have you ever seen like, rain dances and shit? And the only time that I had heard of rain dances was from Indian culture. Rain dance. Like when you say rain dance, you automatically think about Native Americans, right? Like automatically, right? So that's as far as I knew about like weather manipulation. Like I was aware that shamans were able to manipulate the weather. That's the only thing that I knew, and I'm talking about like 12, 13, 10 years old, some shit like that, right? So I didn't know, I was at that time I was like more interested in Viking stuff, and I was more interested in Viking stuff. Like I was reading mythology. I was reading a lot of mythology, Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Greek mythology. I was reading a lot I was really into it. So, um I used to read before going to sleep. Before going to sleep, I would rent out from the school library this little book, and it was the Minotaur thing with the golden thread. I would read that every night. I don't know why, and I grew up, and it kind of shaped that little small fucking book shaped how I perceive magic, and because I don't understand mazes, and I still don't, and that's fine, and that's okay. But and so my brain is kind of like a maze now, So, and everybody's brain is like a maze at the end of the day, and life is like a maze too. You just have to know which corridor to walk in, and you'll be fine, right? But what is a corridor? That's the thing too, and that's like pretty advanced philosophy, and stuff like that. Not everybody thinks that way. Of course, some of my viewers here might think this way, but not everybody does, obviously. You know. So I was really into mazes, and those little maze books and shit like that. So anyway, so she shows me, she's like, have you ever seen this before? She shows me a show. It's like a party, and there's a bunch of people. There's like music, and it's really sunny outside. And she says, check this out. As soon as this guy, it was a DJ, so the DJ was like, as soon as he puts this tracks on, rain starts to fall and shit. And she's like, oh shit. And I remember, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, so well, that could still be a coincidence. And then she shows me another video. of the same shit, and different DJs doing it too. And until I kind of it came to me that okay, if you dance under the sun, it might make rain fall. So and that's why people that hence the term rain dancing. Rain dance. So so that's when I became aware that human weather manipulation was possible, right? And at that time, I still wasn't there yet. That came later with practice and uh, practice and access given to me by spirit, you know, because they had to show me, they had to give me the power first before I was able to do it, which is mostly how it works, anyways. Um, so, and the reason why I'm talking about this and I'm stretching the sauce here is because I'm aware that people might not believe that that might be the case. I'm aware that people might believe that it might not be the case, but I think there is a form when they are gang stalking. I believe like gang stalking serves many purposes, right? I believe gang stalking serves many purposes, and I think that one of the purposes of gang stalking is because they're you're kind of being used without noticing that you're being used. Whether they try to use you as an example to scare people, to scare other people, or they try to, but I wouldn't worry about that, but because yeah, they do it, but don't think spirit don't kick their shit in. Like the Illuminati, like there's like Hollywood actors that feel the pain of your magic, of my magic. Like it's not, nobody's safe. Like it doesn't matter where you live or how much money you got, like you're not safe. like like you're not safe, bro. Like so yeah, they might do that to intimidate you, but they get their shit kicked in too for doing shit like that. Like don't think like nothing happens. And the sad part is nobody, people, the regular masses, it's still working to their advantage, even though they get the brunt force of it, because they might die or get injured physically. You're okay. The only thing you're hearing is like insults, but they get like severely damaged. Like they end up in hospitals, car wrecks, death, all kinds of shit, diseases, all kinds of shit. It's fucked up. It's like really fucked up, So, this guy, well, shit, so there's this dude, I can't talk too loud, but there's this dude that used to mow the lawn. They used to come to my house to mow the lawn. I used to mow the lawn, but you know how it is with the gang stalkers. Anybody can be a gang stalker. You know what I mean? So, anyways, so apparently somebody thought it was wanted to remove the responsibility of me mowing the lawn off of my hands. Because I'm kind of, I have a green thumb. I have a little bit of a green thumb. I'm not that good at growing stuff, but I like it. And I like taking care of gardens and lawns and stuff like that. I'm a little bit of a green thumb. I'm a gardener. So, anyways, so and I think people know that, and they hired this guy to come fuck with me. So he was mowing the lawn instead of me, and And he obviously had a problem with me, which was weird because I don't know the guy, but he obviously he showed me that he had a problem with me. And now, so the summer starts. So this summer starts, and my grass is like yay high. It's like a fucking the size of a goddamn child. And I'm like, yo, are we gonna mow the lawn? Dude is coming. They keep telling me, dude is coming, dude is coming, dude is coming. So I'm like, well, but so I'm keep asking you this, like the 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. So I'm like, when is this dude coming? And somebody finally tells me, well, the dude got cancer. The dude got fucking cancer. That's why I'm like, goddamn. So he was fucking with me. He was coming here fucking with me, and now he got cancer. So that's great, So it's just nobody gets away with shit. Like no one gets away with nothing, bro. So anyways, that's not what I really wanted to talk about. So well, it's part of the things that I wanted to talk about, and of course I didn't like him, and of course like I was targeting him, obviously, so but a whole I don't know the guy, like I don't know him, except when he mows I don't see him at all except when he mows the lawn, and that's it. Like I don't even talk to him, nothing. So but I didn't like his face. I didn't like how like he had a bad attitude. Like he'd give me attitude sometimes, and I just didn't like him. And now he got cancer, and so he's about to die. Um, yeah. So that happened. So no one gets away with it, and even Hollywood doesn't get away. No one gets away with it. No one. Like nobody. Um, and when you practice magic, like it's just it makes it worse. Like when you practice magic, you're basically amplifying that power that you have, and it makes it worse. Like I don't think maybe I don't think he would have if I wasn't practicing black magic. I don't think he would have gotten cancer. Maybe, 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 because it's just mowing the lawn. It wasn't that big of a deal, you know what I mean? But still, he was still fucking with me. He still came there. He still came here for a bad reason, for less than good reason. Pardon my simplistic terminology here. I'm forgetting my words. So I feel like when they do fuck around with you, and then they find out, when they do fuck around with you, I feel like sometimes it's also to bring everybody else down, right? Because this is social engineering. You have to understand there's magic involved, but there's also psychological fuckery, which we call social engineering. Social engineering is psychological fuckery, right? So, and people tend to feel sad automatically when it rains. People that are untrained into spirituality and things like that automatically feel like rain means sad. I don't know why. And I feel like when they fuck with you, it's not just to fuck with you. They're aware that your emotions are connected to the weather, to your environment, and they fuck with you so that and you're not the target. You're not necessarily the target, the main target. The main target is actually everybody else, you know. And I know it sounds a little bit far fetched. It sounds a little bit far fetched, but I do think that they do that. I think they do it. I think they do it, and I even think sometimes I'm angry and it's supposed to rain, and just to piss me off, they use their arc harp system to clear away the clouds. I believe they do that too. I believe they do that too. So I do think there's a little bit of weather manipulation, and I do think the weather manipulation that they're doing on you is also to affect the people around, right? To make them feel sad or less motivated, or things of that manner. You know. So, but I understand if that might be too much. It might be too much, but I can almost guarantee you that that's the case, and because at the end of the day, like, they know who they're attacking, more or less. Like, they are aware of who they're attacking, so they know some of your capabilities, and they don't know all your capabilities, because your capabilities are not something that is actually quantified or written about, right? Some of it is, but we don't know the extent of it. Mind you, some of these guys, like the Illuminati, are still stuck on mirrors. Like, these guys are like, they practice voodoo. The Illuminati practices voodoo. The Illuminati practices voodoo. They practice mirror magic. They really like lemons. Rudimentary shit, like first grade shit. If Hogwarts existed, these are magic things that you would use on your first year. So they do not know what they're fucking with. They have no idea what they're fucking with at all. And they don't care either, because the point is not really to study magic. Their point is not really to study magic. Their point is more based along the lines of social engineering, and how they can manipulate whatever is in the world to their advantage. That's more of what they're doing, right? But they're very aware of spirituality. They're very aware that magic works. They do magic. They practice magic. They have magic tricks. They even roll the red carpet on certain magic things, like chaos magic, or dare I say, pardon me for saying, but Ars Goetia. You have to. It's not. You know, no pun intended, no offense meant, but there's a time period where specific subjects are super trending. And when something is super trending like that, that should give you an indication of who's doing what, right? If you see like 3,000, 10,000 videos on Ars Goetia, there's a reason. There's a little bit of social engineering in there. If you see 3,000, 10,000 videos on lemon magic, there's a reason. It didn't come out of nowhere. It's not trending for no reason. There's a reason why it's trending, right? And then next month or next year is going to be astral projection, right? Like a couple months ago, everybody was talking about astral projection, or a year ago. A year ago, people were talking about astral projection. After astral projection, it was lemons. Everybody was talking about lemons. Now everybody's talking about mirrors. And then it's gonna be something else, or Ars Goetia, and then it's gonna be something else, and then it's gonna be something else, and then something like. So they're count dripping the information that's going out there also, you know. But I also do not believe that they've achieved a level as high as some of us can actually go. I severely doubt it. Because you have to understand, the Illuminati doesn't deal with gods. They create their own gods. They can't deal with gods because they're shit. They're shit people, and gods don't want to deal with shit people. Well, some gods don't want to deal with shit people. Um, but most gods, well, the important ones, the ones that matter, no pun intended, no offense meant, but the ones that matter, the ones that are important, the ones that everybody know of, the ones that most people are more or less comfortable with knowing. Like if you walk down the street, be like, "Do you know this guy?" Most of the people would say, "Yeah." Those guys don't really fuck around with the Illuminati, so they can't really practice magic because lots of these magic come from these people. Like if Lucifer doesn't like you, you can't really practice demonology, right? How the fuck are you gonna practice demonology if Lucifer doesn't like your fucking face? Like, duh. Like you can't practice Norse mythology. You can't invoke Norse gods if Odin doesn't like your fucking face. Obviously. You can't really do real magic with Loki if Loki doesn't like your fucking face. And so on and so on. Duh. So that's why most of the magic that you see, that's why they put up like they make up like fake gods like Baphomet, like whatever the fuck that is. I don't fucking know. No offense, but I don't know what the fuck that thing is, dude. Like and shit like that. I'm not saying it's not a fair depiction of a form of Satan, but I don't know, like the word Baphomet, like what the fuck is that? Like, like I don't. Yeah, I've heard of Malboja, with Baphomet. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It just sounds off. There's just something there that I don't get. Like, anyway. So, and why call him Baphomet? Why are you so Baphomet? Like, that's not his fucking name. Call him fucking Satan or Lucifer, dude. Like, I mean, you can call him Baphomet sometimes, but why are you stuck on that? Like, like, anyway. So, anyways, man, like I said, like there's just some things that just so that's why they have their own kind of like self-created magic systems or illusion tricks that they use, which they have a lot of, dare I say, but they're very rudimentary and with enough experience and knowledge, it is reversible, you know. Kind of like this gang stalking thing. There is some. It's mostly spiritual from my standpoint. From my standpoint, the gang stalking thing is mostly spiritual, but there are actual physical gang stalkers too, like people. But those people are miscreants. They're miscreants, and they're miscreants, and they get their just desserts too. So more or less, what I'm trying to say is you don't need to be afraid. Like I'm more afraid of regular, actual, real people that live in real life. Because those people, you don't know them. They can, they have no link with you. But a gang stalker is mostly somebody somewhere that knows you somehow, or you did something, and this person and now this person is trying to intimidate you or some shit like that. But if you are a chosen one, if you're not a chosen one and this is happening to you, then I would highly suggest to either go see a spiritualist or call the police. I would go see a spiritualist. I would put some curses on them. That's what I would do. Because police, that's too easy. He's gonna go to jail. I mean, jail sucks. Trust me. I've been to jail many times. Jail is ass. Like jail is fucking ass, bro. But it's too easy too. You know what I mean? Like lay a curse on that son bitch. Lay a fucking curse on that son bitch, man. Break his fucking legs. Fucking break his fucking legs. Break his fucking fingers. Snap his fucking neck, my dude. Like like just tear him apart. rip his fucking shirt off, fuck him up, dude. Like, fuck him up. I would totally go see a spiritual. I'm surprised that there's not more people, because the recent phase that's been going on is girls going to go see spiritualists to put curses on their ex-boyfriend. Put a curse on your ex-girlfriend, goddammit. If she put a curse on you, put a curse on her ass, goddammit. Curse that. No, I'm serious. I'm kidding. Fuck that shit, bro. Like, motherfucker, like, the other person paid good money to curse your motherfucking asses. You don't fucking curse their asses. Curse their fucking asses, man. Eye for an eye. Fuck it. And the same shit with gangstalkers. You should do the same shit, especially when it comes to, if you know it's the Illuminati that's after, curse their fucking ass. Curse their motherfucking ass. What the fuck are you doing? Immediately. Like, stop wasting your fucking time. Curse they fucking ass immediately. And don't be scared. Don't be scared either. You know what I mean? Cause you're dealing with like you're dealing with children. Yes, they are sick, demented individuals. But you know, at the same time, they ain't built like you. They're not built like you, bro. They ain't built for this, man. Like, you know, they're not built like we are, bro. Like me, like, dude, I don't come from a rich family, bro. Like, I don't, you know, and even if my family had money, I ain't never seen a goddamn dime of that motherfucking money. You know, so I don't know. Like, I was born. Everybody was born with money. I was born broke as a joke, nigga. I was poor as a son bitch when I was born, bro. Crazy ass shit, man. Like, so, you know, like, and no pun intended, no offense meant, but you know, like they ain't built like that. They ain't never seen what you've seen. They've never been through the struggles that you've been through, man. And that there's power in there, bro. Like, that's called force of character. That's force of character, bro. Like, a lot of people's never seen the shit that you've seen, bro. Like, they don't understand the stuff that you understand. They never seen the stuff that you've seen. So you should definitely like, don't underestimate yourself, man. Like, don't underestimate yourself, bro. And if you don't know magic, that don't mean that you shouldn't go somebody that does do magic. Cause I'm pretty sure he'll be fucking happy to curse the motherfucking ass. Cause the thing about magic practitioners and spiritualists, we don't owe nobody nothing. You know what I mean? It's the spirits, and anyways, it's not us. It's the spirits that decide who they gonna curse and who they not gonna curse. Like, if they don't want to curse somebody, they're not gonna do it. If they don't want to curse them, they're not gonna do it. And sometimes you might go see a spirituals. Okay, so here's a little thing that you might not be aware of. You might go see, and it's nobody's fault. You might go see a spiritualist about something. Let's say the Illuminati's cursing you, right? But it's a specific person in the Illuminati that's cursing you, right? And this person's a shitbag, and whatever he did to you was like super unfair. Once the gods see the amount of injustice that this guy, because sometimes the gods are not aware. They might not be aware. Maybe you don't have a link to the gods. Maybe it could anything. It could be anything, right? You could be an atheist and you never believe in spirituality. Maybe you're not a chosen one, but I don't know. Maybe you're outspoken. You said something, it pissed off somebody. Now this person is gang stalking you. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Right? Anything could be an issue, right? But when you go see the spiritualist, and then you tell the spiritualist what the problem is, and then the spiritualist go see the guys, and the guys be like, "Oh, word," you know what I mean? Tell this, yo, we're gonna get his motherfucking ass, and then he comes see you, he's like, the spirit said it's okay, let's do this shit. He's saying it's okay, like it ain't nothing, but maybe what that spiritualist heard is, I'ma fuck this nigga. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the spiritualist heard, I'ma fucking tear this nigga apart. You know, go just do the thing and don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So it happens. It happens. There's different levels to things. You know, sometimes people do very bad things, and nothing happens because nobody's aware of the very bad thing that that person does. But if somebody is aware of what that person did, some really bad shit might happen to the guy that did the really bad shit. But if you don't say nothing and you don't do nothing, then nothing's gonna happen. You know? So it is what it is. So you know when you're facing gang stalking, when you're facing Illuminati interference, torturous interference, like the police would say, like Jay-Z would say, torturous interference, then lay some fucking curses on their asses, man. If they are in your way and they're using magic against you, so why not use magic against them? People say don't fight fire with fire. Fuck that. Use fire. What do you think a fireman does? How do you think firemen put out fire? They use fire to put out fires. They manipulate. Firemans manipulate fire. Firemen are like magicians. Sometimes they don't even use a hose to extinguish the fire, bro. Like sometimes they use like fucking sledgehammers and they siphon the air one way so they exit the other way and it just sucks out and shit and so all kinds of they got all kinds of tricks to take out fires because there's different kinds of fires. There's different kinds of situations, right? And in the case of not fighting fire with fire, I would say like getting into a physical fight with somebody. I think that's because depending on where you are, like if you're in the hood, I would not suggest starting a fist fight with well, if you're not in the hood, but if you're fighting young individuals and even older individuals are like guilty of doing this, but if you're fighting a young man, I wouldn't suggest doing it because that young man's never going to leave you alone. He's gonna go get his friends. He's gonna go get this and da 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 da, and it'll never fucking stop. Right? Some adults are capable of fighting you, and that's just it. But even adults are not, like a lot of, especially like hood guys. Like hood guys. And ghetto guys and hood guys. They're not like you can't. It's not the fucking. You can't just fucking fight it out and everybody goes their own way and shit. No, it's gonna be a whole fucking story. He's gonna come back again. He's gonna get some friends. He's gonna start doing stuff. Blah blah blah. So don't do that. Like if you have a problem with somebody, curse his motherfucking ass. Seriously, like if it, if you have a problem with somebody, curse his ass, bro. Like, just fuck him up. Like, and the curse is way worse. Like, to be honest, fighting the dude would be more of a mercy than getting cursed. You don't want to get cursed. Like, you don't. Like, I'm fucking powerful. I get cursed all the time. Like, there's other magic practitioners that talk about, like, we talk about that shit like it's nothing. Like, yeah, there's like 4 or 5 people cursing me, but bro, like, like, dude, like that's crazy. That's insane. Like 5 people cursing you, that's crazy. Like to us, it's nothing because we're like used. It's like it comes with the territory, and we're kind of used to it because we probably got cursed before we started practicing magic, right? By somebody somewhere, right? So like today we're kind of like occurs, but a regular fucking person, dude, that like a person that doesn't practice magic, he gets holy fucking shit. That person can end up, bro. The person can end up killing himself, and I shit you fucking not. I shit you fucking not. And I'm talking from experience. I'm not ashamed of saying it. I'm talking from experience, bro. That person might kill themselves, man. Curses are savage. Like fighting somebody is not gonna make me want to kill myself. A curse can make you kill yourself, bro. That's fucked up. So cursing someone is way worse than way fucking worse, bro. Like, like I would literally kill myself to not get cursed. I would kill myself before getting cursed, bro. Like, and I'm not even kidding. And I'm not even kidding, bro. Like, shit, man. My ex-girlfriend put a curse on me, bro. Nigga, if you told me I had a choice between killing myself and getting cursed, I would have killed myself instead. Dude, like, nigga, shit. That shit was crazy, man. I mean, today I can laugh about it and not give a shit and stuff like that. But, and of course I had a strength of character. But, bro, like, I'm not talking about, like, how fucking great I am and shit like that. No, like, I'm talking from a human standpoint, bro. Like if I was a regular fucking human with no powers, no nothing, no chosen bullshit, bro, and you would have told me, okay, you got a choice. Either you take this curse from your ex-girlfriend or you get shot in the face. I would have took the gun and shot myself in the fucking face. Dude, like, so, like, it's not a fucking joke when if you got gang stalkers, and these guys, they wanna they already dug their own grave. You already made your bed, so lay in it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to fuck around with magic? Well, that's what you get. And I feel like most people think like the Illuminati got some kind of authority over magic. They ain't got authority over shit. They ain't got authority over a goddamn thing. Shit, motherfucker, just look at me. Like, they ain't got a fucking authority over goddamn fucking, not a fucking thing. Not one fucking thing. Shit, look at the fucking, they got fucking Joe Biden. Motherfucker can't even stand up straight to be a goddamn fucking presidential candidate, bro. That goes to show you how far their reach is, how strong they are as a group. Can't even stand up straight. So, you got gang stalkers on you. Curse their asses. Curse them all. Curse everybody. Anybody that gives you trouble, curse his ass. And the gods will, they trust the gods. They know what they're doing. It's not like, they know what they're doing. It's not like, you're going to curse somebody. It's going to be the same thing every fucking time. Like, the person's going to wrap his fucking car around a tree. Like, every time you fucking curse somebody. No, there's different levels. Some people really deserve to get their legs broken. Some people deserve to get cancer. Some people deserve to get their fucking car wrapped up around a fucking tree. So the other day I was talking to somebody. I can't speak too loud because these are actually very personal things, but it's just an example here. So I'm trying to give you examples here. So, so the other guy got cancer, right? So, I was talking to two people, and these people, it was two people, a couple. So I was talking to a couple. The couple obviously had a problem with me. And they started talking about lemons. And they were acting tough. Like, they were acting tough. They were talking about lemons. Man, let me go get some lemons. Lemons this, lemon that. Not a day later. Well, yes, a day later. I'm like, yo, where's this person? Where's that person? How come I don't see him? And then they let me know. Oh, the couple got they got bacteria. They had a bacteria. When you I don't know how to say this. I don't remember the name of that illness. So they got an illness, but it's not like, it's like intestinal gastro. So they had so they were like shitting and vomiting. And I did a thing after they was talking about, so I was like, oh, you talking about lemons? So I sent a curse out, and they both of them at the same time had an intestinal gastro, so they were shitting, and vomiting at the same time. So they were shitting and vomiting at the same time, but they didn't die, right? I'm not gonna say I was trying to kill them, but you know, but I was aiming for something higher than just intestinal gastro, and I'm gonna just put it like that. So the message came back to me that they had intestinal gastro after, so they were shitting and vomiting all day long, baby, for a whole week. Actually, I didn't see them for a whole week, so you know. So it's different. It depends. Maybe spirit thought that was I was going overboard, and it was like, okay, we're gonna get them, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna break their legs. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this instead. All right. Or my hellhound. My hellhound. I use my hellhound a lot, actually. I use my hellhound a lot. Uh, but and I like using my hellhound because he's effective. Um, but usually, so another example. So usually my hellhound, the only thing he does is my hellhound is trained to suck your energy, like he eats you. He eats you. He just lingers and just eats your fucking spirit. He eats your soul. You know, as long as I decide, as long as I don't call him back, he's gonna sit there and eat. Well, either he eats until he's full. I trained him to eat until he's full, or until I call him back. Right. So that's how I usually use my hellhound. But the other day, I did unleash my hellhound on somebody. People didn't like the video. I don't know why, but we talked about it the other day. I don't know why people didn't like the video, but apparently people didn't like the video. So whatever. Um, I feel like there's a double standard there. So, anyways, so I sent my hellhound, and my hellhound communicated with me this time, and he was like, "The job is done." Because I told him, don't come back. I really had anger towards that dude. He was pissing me off. He's a gang stalker. The guy's a gang stalker. He was annoying, and he's pissing me off. So I told him, you know what? I was about to let my hellhound eat him for like 5 years. Like, I was going to just leave my hellhound over at this guy's house like forever. Like just eat this guy until he just fucking passes out, like. So 6 months later, my hellhound messages me, and he's like, okay, the job's done. I'm like, what are you talking about? The job is done, just keep eating. And he's like, nah, for real, the job is done. And I'm like, I'm kind of doubting. I was kind of doubting him a little bit, man. I was kind of doubting him a little bit, and so, like, okay, I'm like, so I call him back. And then Spirit tell me, go look this up. So I go look it up. I see the guy's face, and I'm like, oh shit. And I see the guy's face, bro. Like, it's on the social media. I see the guy's face. It's like he got bandages everywhere, busted lip, busted nose, black eyes, a whole 9 yards. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, so shit is crazy. And I used my hellhound quite recently on somebody that had given me trouble. The person's not doing too good. Person's kind of like losing their minds. I just got news apparently recently. Not too long ago. I just got news. The person's kind of losing their minds and shit. So, curse their asses. Man, people give you trouble, curse their asses, bro. Like fuck them up, like tear them to pieces, tear them to pieces. Why are you having so much mercy? I don't like hurting people, but the thing you don't understand is like you might not like hurting people, but maybe people like hurting you. And when people get used to hurting you, then that's when you have to do something about it because you don't have to accept people hurting you. It's unacceptable to have people trying to hurt you. It's unacceptable. It's not. It's not acceptable. It's not like I've hurt people in my past, and I'm not proud about it. Like I don't go into people's even people that I know that I have power over. I don't go in their faces and start poking at them. I hurt you once. I was probably stupid for doing it, and I probably didn't even mean it, and I'm not gonna do it again because I'm not that kind of person. I don't, and even people that I'm aware that I dominate, I don't take advantage of it. Like I don't really like I don't intimidate people. I don't try to intimidate people. I don't try to do none of that shit. I mind my own fucking business. I'm a businessman. I'm not a miscreant. Like I'm not a vagabond or a miscreant. I'm a business dude. I'm a business oriented person. I don't have time for that sort of nonsense. And even in the business world, you will meet people like that. There's people that will use their authority, that will try to use their authority over you, or that will try to intimidate you. You're not safe just because you're a businessman. It doesn't make you safe from that kind of shit. It's everywhere. It's anywhere. It's in the workspaces, in school, outside of school, even inside of your own family. There's a power structure inside of your own family or inside of work, and it is probably not even with your boss. It's probably with your coworkers. There's like a power structure even between co-workers. So it's just it's a societal thing. It's a tribal thing, a societal thing. And you got to be able to defend yourself. You got to put some how do you say, some barriers. What's the term for that? Well, yeah, barriers, I guess, is a good term, but I'm looking for another word which you probably know what it is. um you got to put some limits. You got to put some limits to what a person, what you permit a person to get away with in your life, with your life. you know um and I feel like in the matter of gang stalkers, they do violate your personal space. Like they violate your personal space on a consistent basis. Like consistently. Either they listen into what you're saying, either they I don't know, like they're weird, they do weird shit. They listen to what you're saying. They like make up things, make up stories and stuff like that. That's your personal. If you're not, and this is the reason why your curse is going to work 100%. Like if you throw a curse at a gang stalker, your curse is gonna work at 100% level, at 100% power. Because like let's say like you're a person that minds his own business, and you're not like, you don't even have a YouTube channel and shit like that, and you don't really talk to people and shit like that, and you still have people harassing you. Shit, motherfucker, man, I guarantee you something bad's gonna happen to that nigga. Like, I guarantee you something bad's gonna happen to that son of a bitch. I guarantee you, and I'm aware. I have a big voice, and I'm a public figure and stuff like that. But I mostly stay to myself. Like I don't really like hanging around with a bunch of people, and I don't really, like I don't go out of my way to fuck with other people. But people go out of their way to fuck with me, and bad shit happens to them 200% of the time. like not 100%, 200. You would think at this point bad shit happens to them so much that you would think at this time they would stop. right? But they keep going, anyway. So, and I keep cursing, like my ex used to say, I throw curses like postcards, you know what I mean? Because she saw me like cursing people. I throw like, you know what I mean? Like I almost have a Rolodex, with names written on it already. I'm just burning names all day. You know what I mean? Like a goddamn mailman. So, it is what it, and I don't feel bad about it because I know the people that I curse deserve it, like 100%. Because it's not like I'm not. I don't even talk to good people. Like, not for real. Like, I don't even know. I don't even talk to like innocent people, people that don't do nothing to nobody. Like, I don't even talk to those people. So, like, I have no qualms in cursing the people that I know because I know they're bad. Like, like, because I know you're bad because I don't even talk to good people. Like, like I don't talk to no one, right? So, like I don't curse good people. Like I'm not in a position to curse somebody that's good in the first place. Because I don't really hang around people. I don't really talk to people that much, and I don't really hang around people that much. I'm a little bit outlandish. I have a lot of energy, and I'm a little bit outlandish and brash and bold. But not everybody can handle my energy. Not everybody can handle my kind of energy because I'm the kind of person we could be sitting here 5 minutes. You could be sitting on a chair and 2 3 months later you're on a fucking plane to go to Tahiti or some shit like that. Like I'm fucking crazy, like I got a lot of energy. I don't really like and it's weird because like I'm just like that, like I have a lot of energy, and not a lot of people can handle that kind of energy, or that is ready to handle that kind of energy either, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that have a lot of energy. There's a lot of people that are high octane. There's a lot of people that are high octane. I'm one of those people too, but I'm also introverted at the same time, which is the case for most alleged chosen ones. Most chosen ones are actually, you know, um, self-contained. They're self-contained. They don't really mingle and stuff like that. And it's not like they're necessarily shy. Because in public, they might be, like I said, they might be like me. They might be, super energetic and super alive and super awake. But, they just don't hang around people. So, yeah, man. Um, Weather manipulation is not a thing that is only consistent to HARP technology. I do feel that they use people to change the weather too. They piss people off. They try to make people sad. They try to make people upset so that the weather changes. Whether it changes for a rainy day or a sunny day, it depends. Or winter storm or some shit like that. I think they do manipulate people's emotions to change the weather, because at the end of the day, the weather does control everybody at the same time. There are many forms of control, and when you can control somebody emotionally, it's just the same as controlling. It does a lot of damage. Emotional damage is still emotional damage, and it can shift uh, a person's entire reality too. You know, and that's another subject that I tend to find interesting. Speaking of changing the weather, getting your weather together. You know, there's another thing I was talking about. So I was talking about the Me Too movement. I was talking about the Me Too movement in one of the comic section Jafar. Big ups to Jafar, man. This dude watches all. I know he watches my fucking video, and he watches till the end because the comments that he puts are not comments that he watched 5 minutes and and then he commented or some shit like that. Like you can tell, I can tell that he actually listened to the whole fucking thing. So shout out to Jafar, man, a comment warrior, comment section warrior, bro. Like big shout out. Big shout out, man. Salute to you, Jafar, dude. Doing a great job in the comment section. Always giving insight. Always giving insight. Always keeping it interesting too, with his a peculiar way of thinking and doing things. Big shout out to Jafar. Um, I'm happy to see Mr. Shepherd too. I'm happy to see Mr. Shepherd finally commenting on the channel. That's dope. So big shout out to these two guys. There's other people too. Alice in Wonderland, Alex, shit. Who else? Everybody, man. Everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the comment section that leaves good comments or that just leaves good comments, man. Um. So yeah, I was having and I was talking about like and I feel like it's an important thing. It's an important thing to talk about because I be sitting here and I'm like talking about how much I'm the shit and everything all the fucking time, and my invention, which is apocalyptic optimath magic system that I invented and created. So anyways, so there's there. Okay, the Me Too movement, man. I have a huge problem with that. I have a huge problem with the Me Too movement because that shit's real. That shit is fucking real, bro. And I'm not talking about like Me Too, the Hollywood garbage. I'm talking about like rape. The people that think rape culture don't exist. If you think rape culture don't exist, it's because you probably live in the suburb, and even in the suburb, and it depends on which suburb you live in. Because I believe rape culture is also in the suburb. I know rape culture. That's why I will never go to university because I will kill like 50 people. Like I will fucking go fucking school shooter in a university, bro. I will murder everyone in that shit, bro. Like I will never go to because I feel like rape culture starts in universities. And I don't understand people that go to universities anymore. Like I would never go to. I don't know. It's like university is where trash seems to pile up. That for real. Like that's it. That's what it looks like. It looks like university is like a place for trash people. Like people that should not exist in universities. Like and I feel like that's where rape culture begins, man. For a lot of young men, anyways, I feel like that's when they had their first taste of rape. Not all of them, but I feel like a couple of them. I feel like university is the one of the first places that they have their first taste for rape. Their first they hit their first joint. And there's people that believe that rape culture is not a thing. It is. I don't know if it died down. I don't feel like it has, but it might have a little bit because I'm a retired superhero, so I don't fucking know. Like I try to stay away from trouble as I humanly can, as a warrior can. I try to stay away from trouble, but I do fight some injustices in certain cases, but I try to stay away from trouble mostly because I saw rape culture from my own eyes. And I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about the Me Too movement because I feel like at the time that the Me Too, I had noticed rape culture was on the rise before the Me Too movement, right? And it seems like the Me Too movement moved in after a certain period. And I'm not stupid. I'm thinking if I'm aware that I'm not the only one going through this, or I'm aware that I'm not the only one that noticed or is seeing this, right? And it feels like the Me Too movement, and this is one of those things where I keep talking about, like when we're like letting these people steal our stuff and stealing our stories and stealing our identities, because I feel like the Me Too movement is a identity theft movement. It's identity theft movement. I don't believe that these people were really talking about like rape that was going on within Hollywood. I feel like because rape has always is part of the culture of Hollywood. It's always been like that, and I don't believe that coincidentally, as rape culture was running rampant in the street, and it still is today running rampant in the street because people rape more than they sell drugs. Gangsters rape more women than they actually sell drugs, you know. And back in the 90s, I feel like that wasn't the case. Back in the 90s, I feel like it wasn't a culture. It wasn't like, yeah, there's people that was raping people, but it wasn't like it wasn't the main focus of when you were in the gang. And I feel like right now, when you're in the gang, the main focus is raping. Like that's it. Like that's it, and that's all. Like that's the main focus now. Like it's not selling drugs, it's not stealing stuff. It's just rape, like automatic rape. Like you're in a gang, you gotta rape. Like it's weird. It's weirdo. It's weirdo shit. So, and I don't like the Me Too movement because I feel like it took away from not only me, but all of the people that actually went through an actual upsurge of rape, which is not a funny thing. Because that's fucked up. And even Dave Chappelle made a joke, which was actually fucking funny. I mean, fuck Dave Chappelle. I don't fucking like him. But Dave Chappelle made a joke one day, and that shit actually got me laughing. Because I think Dave Chappelle's an industry plant. I don't trust him. So Dave Chappelle made a joke one day. It's like, shit, man. There sure is a lot of fucking rape, and I feel like if I don't watch out, I might get raped. You know what I mean? And then he starts trying to walk on down the street, and you got to be fucking careful while you're walking down the street because there's so much fucking rape. You know what I mean? So, and that was also before he made that joke before the Me Too movement thing started. So, if you know, speaking of, and then you had this Me Too movement started, and I feel like it was a sad movement. It was a sad time when that started because a lot of people had to go through that shit. I'm sure there's a lot of people that threw down, that had to fight, that had to fucking they had to do something, and whether it was using judicial or with the bare hands or whatever, but they had to go through, they had to see that, they had to be aware of it, and it's fucked up because I do believe that they're the ones that started that shit, because you like this because you have to understand the way that these guys are doing these things is kind of clever. It's kind of clever. It's very covert. It's very ninja like. you know, it's very ninja like. You don't really see it until it's too late. So um, and then when you start seeing it, then you start seeing the signs, and you start seeing it's everywhere around you, and then you're like, what the fuck is this? So shit is fucked up, man. Um, so yeah, and I feel like that's Me Too movement. It's one of those things. Like I said, it's one of those things that you it's kind of stealing your identity. It's kind of like taking away from you. It's taking you away from you, man. Like, and it's not about money. It's not about money. It's not. I'm not talking about money right now. I'm not. You know, and I do understand that. Of course, it's gonna. I mean, you're gonna have, if you do something good, it's normal to have some recognition for it. Like, you don't have to be a millionaire or billionaire or some shit like that, but it's normal to be a little bit recognized for it. I mean, like, if you save somebody's life, you save somebody's life, man. I mean, like, of course you didn't do it to, for people, to everybody to see, and blah blah blah. Of course not. You just thought it was the right thing to do, but still though, like, and I would be okay with that line of thinking if the Illuminati wasn't overtly going out of their way to remove all of the attention away from you. That's my problem. That's why I keep talking about these things, because I don't think that's right. Whether you like money or not, whether you like attention or not, at the end of the day, that's not right. Like, doing that is not okay at all, in any shape or form. That's fraudulent. That's fraudulent behavior. It's fraudulent behavior. It's a complete violation of your rights as a human to live, because it affects your livelihood. It's affecting your livelihood at the same fucking time. It's affecting your livelihood at the same fucking time. And I'm not saying like saving somebody's life is gonna make your life better. That's not what I'm saying. But that's not what I'm saying at all. But still, like, you're sitting here being gang stalked, and you might be a great person, and everybody thinks you're a bad person because of all of the gang stalking. And that's not okay. You might be a great person and nobody knows you're a great person because of all of the gaslighting. That's not okay. So it's not about money. It's about right and wrong. And wrong is wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong at the end of the day. And not, I think it's a disservice. I think it's a disservice to just I think it's a disservice to live and let live in situations like that, because you might have noticed. You might be aware of what I'm saying, but you kind of have like this mentality of, oh well, you know, better luck next time. No, not better luck next time. Right fucking now. Like, right fucking now. Like, not next time. Right fucking now. Because it's not your fault. You didn't do this. They decided to do this to you. It's not, you didn't do this to yourself. They decided to do this randomly. For Pete's sakes, what reason? Like, so yeah, it's identity theft. It's like, they're stealing. It's like stealing. It's like this Baphomet guy. It's like this Baphomet guy, bro. Like, they're like acting like they're Satanists, and they're doing Baphomet stuff, and everybody think Lucifer is this thing. Lucifer is the fucking rapist, pedophile stuff. No, No, these niggas are rapists and pedophiles. Those motherfuckers are rapists and pedophiles, not fucking Lucifer, man. Like, like that's not a thing. That's not real. And they're selling this illusion, and they're just stealing people's stuff, and we're letting them steal our stuff for some fucking reason, which I don't think it's fine. I don't think it's okay. I mean, like, I could sit there and be like, well, I don't care. I'm just going to let the world burn and everything, and I don't care. But it's very hard to let the world burn at the same time that your identity is being used to burn the world. It's like all the dudes, like there's a bunch of people. I'm glad I'm making this video. Or you want to know why? Because there's probably some people that don't have a voice. There's probably some people that don't know how to explain these things. There's probably some people that doubt themselves and don't want to say these things out loud because they might sound crazy. But the thing is, I don't fucking care about sounding crazy. I know what I know. And I'm too smart. I'm too smart and wise for somebody to make me think that I'm shit. Even fucking doctors can't fucking tell me that I'm crazy. Like I like there's people that there's real people that are not that doctors that are going around trying to make me look crazy. But if you put me in front of a psychologist or a psychiatrist, they're gonna tell you that I'm not crazy. So like, so no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about being the voice for these people, you or whoever is went through or going through that stuff. I can assure you that everything is on par. Everything that this person said is on par, and I can explain it to you from A to Z, with no problems, without stuttering. So I got family members. Trying to put me in. All they want to do is put me in the hospital. That's all they want to do. They don't want to do nothing else. That's all they want to do. They just want me to put me. They just want to put me in the hospital. That's all. That's the only thing they can imagine for me in my life is being in the hospital. Nothing else. Shit is fucked up. And I'm making YouTube videos. I'm like doing shit like internationally and stuff like that. I got website, radio shows, blah 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 blah. And all they want to do is put me in the hospital. So So this Illuminati stuff, it's real. Or this gang stalking stuff is real. This gaslighting stuff is real, bro. Like it's this slandering, it's real. The identity theft, it's real. It's all real. It's all happening. If it's your first time joining my channel, you're welcome. And don't forget to subscribe. Because I'm pretty sure the people that watches my channel, some of the people that watch my channel are aware of these things, or they might be going through these things, you know. And once again, this is the part you don't like. This is the part you're not gonna like. I'm gonna tell you, God has something to do with it. God, yes, I gotta say it. I gotta say it. God has something to do with it, man. He's the ultimate gang stalker, man. He's the ultimate gang stalker. He's the ultimate gaslighter. He's the ultimate. He's the ultimate bad guy. Think about it this way: you're an omnipotent God, and you're really, 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 really bad. Wouldn't it make more sense if you're really, 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 really bad? Wouldn't it make more sense to make yourself look like a light, pure, divine being that only wants uh what's right for you and stuff like that, and manipulate you into thinking that he only wants what's good for you and stuff like that? If you're really, 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 really evil, like evil for no reason. Think about it. Wouldn't that be more evil, if you're ultimate evil? Because that's to me, and to me, that's what happened to Cain in the story of Cain and Abel. That's why I'm like, Cain was right to smash his brother's head in with a rock. Because because his brother was gaslighting him, man. God was gaslighting him losing his brother. He's bashed his fucking head in. Fuck that nigga. That was gaslighting. That's why he snapped. He snapped because he was getting gaslighted, bro. The reason why Cain bashed his brother's head in with a rock is because he could think. He had a brain. Something wasn't right. He didn't know what wasn't right, but he knew something wasn't right. Anyways, man, back to the Me Too movement shit, because I feel like that's what you want to hear more than anything else. you know, um, and I guess you're gonna be once you're ready, you're gonna be ready. Once you're ready, you're gonna be ready. Right now, you're not ready, and that's the only thing. And before I go, because I'm gonna say a couple more things, and before I go, I would like to give reverence one more time to the lords of the wise, almighty lords of the infernal realm, and I hope they don't. I hope that they don't see my arrogance as insolence. For I am only but a mortal living in a mortal coil. So sometimes my ignorance can lead me to arrogance. So anyway. So I give reverence to all the lords of hell, and the ones that shines the light in the darkness, who is Satan, which I prefer to call Lucifer. Um, for some reason, no reason at all. But anyway, I like that name. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, because they're doing big things right now in my life. They're rearranging. They're rearranging. Like earlier, I said, like something like I don't really care about the big things, but I do care about the big things, obviously. But I do care about the big things, but and they're doing very, very big things right now, like very big things, very big things are happening, and very big things are cooking up, things that I'm not even aware of, but I can tell, um, and I'm very grateful for it, which I should not be. That's another thing. Oh, and by the way, stop doing gratitude immediately. Stop doing that. Like well, maybe if you practice law of attraction, because I don't know, law of attraction is kind of different. Um, But if you're a demonologist, stop giving gratitude right now. Yeah, because it's kind of the depending on the person, the because I try to do gratitude. I don't do gratitude a lot. Well, it's not that. Okay, this is a complicated matter. So what I'm gonna say is, every time I try to give gratitude, something bad happens. So like, so I don't know. I guess it depends on the kind of person you are, but the kind of magician that you are, or the kind of magic that you're practicing. But I would try to not give gratitude. No, don't do gratitude ceremonies, like, rituals. Like, fuck that. Like, remove that from your itinerary. Remove it for your itinerary, because to me it's not working. And I feel like I should tell you guys this, because it is one of my beliefs too, that you're supposed to be able to command things without basically acting like a bitch after, and I don't think Lucifer likes it when you're sitting there acting like a bitch for like fucking 2 hours and shit like that, But I'm kidding when I'm saying acting like a bitch, but because I think that's good too. I don't think it's a bad thing to be grateful for, what was given to you and shit. But I don't know. It just looks like he doesn't like it. It just looks like he doesn't like that shit. I don't know. So I would suggest removing it from your itinerary and just see what it does. Um, if you do receive some kind of backlash, then do it. But if you notice that nothing happens, because like in the magic in apocalyptic aftermath magic system, one of our way of thinking is that you are a god, you are becoming a god, you are a god. So, and a god doesn't need to thank, give thanks for things. Like, no, you created this thing, you're the one that's created the thing. This is your work, this is your doing, right? But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have respect though. But just try not to do gratitude shit, because even to me, like, I didn't use the I give reverence and I give respect, but I don't really do gratitude things. I don't really like. Back then I didn't really try to give thanks. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I fell on that recently. The whole giving gratitude and stuff. Um, and every time that I tried giving thanks, I got like bad reception after. So I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like it's like the gods giving us access to a higher state of being, um, a more autonomous, level of uh, usage of power. Um, at least I hope so. you know, at least I hope so. But it is what it is. So back to what we're saying. I feel like there's a lot of unsung heroes out there, that were kind of replaced by this whole Me Too movement thing. And when I say it's part of Hollywood culture, rape is part of Hollywood culture. Like, these people that go there, like, I don't think it's right. I don't think you need to necessarily suck somebody's dick to make some money. I think if you feel like sucking somebody's dick to get some money, that's fine. But I don't think it's supposed to be mandatory for absolutely everyone. You know, if you got talent, you got talent, and you should be able to use that talent to build something for yourself. I don't think it's a necessary. I don't think being taken advantage of is a necessary due process towards what you're trying to build for yourself. You know, I don't think that's legit. It's not. It's not legit because at the end of the day, there's a bunch of people that are willing to suck your dick if you want to get your dick sucked. So I don't see why you're making somebody else that don't want to suck your dick when there's a bunch of people that are willing to suck your dick. You know, like that are waiting in line. They're waiting in line to suck your dick, and and then you know, like, so. Anyways, um, so yeah, I just don't, you know. Anyway, so I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it should be a thing. And yeah, like Hollywood. I mean, at the end of the day, these people know what they're gonna go do once they go there, and you know, and some of them are probably aware of what's going on before they even got there, and you know, so you know, I'm not saying that that's if it happens that it's right, or I'm not saying I don't consider it still statutory rape. It's just when you see movement like these come out, it's not for the right reasons. You know, it's just like, as I could say the same thing about, like, let's say like Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams talking about the truth and what's going on in Hollywood. I feel like it's taking away from regular people. I feel like, you know, regular, quote unquote, regular people, you know. I feel like it's taken away from non-celebrity people that are actually going through that shit, that are actually fighting that sort of thing, and you know, they are going through this sort of thing, they are fighting this sort of thing, and it's taken away from these people. It's taken away attention from these people, and I don't think it's right, because Hollywood are the ones doing the gaslighting. Hollywood is the one doing the gang stalking and the gaslighting and all of the bad shit. You know, the Illuminati is the one doing all of these bad stuff. You know, um, so it's not right, and I don't think I'm the only one that should be speaking about these things. I don't think I'm the only one that should speak out about those things, because I'm not the only hero out here. You know, I'm not the only hero out here. So, you know, like, it ain't right. It ain't right. The fact that not enough people is talking about this, about talking about, like, people replacing them, isn't right. You know, and I feel like I feel like one of the reasons why people feel that way, that people sort of, is they already given up. They're kind of like, oh well, you know, I can't go up against this or that and stuff like that. They kind of got their hands down a little bit, you know, and I understand, because it's like the other day I made a video. It was a good video, and immediately after there was like this fucking Drake thing, you know, that went fucking viral right after I made the video. It was like he went fucking viral for jerking off on an airplane, you know, and you know, people was just talking about that for 3 days, you know, and or I make videos and then Terrence Howard pops out of nowhere, and fucking, or Kanye West pops out of nowhere, or somebody pops out of nowhere, and they're always just taking attention away from people. And I know I'm not the only one that they do this, because they've been doing this for a long time. There's other videos on YouTube talking about, like, this sort of conspiracy. You know, like, people talk about conspiracy. I'm a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy. You are in a conspiracy right now. Like, listening to my video makes you part of the conspiracy. Like, I am a conspiracy, like, So, and this is what I'm saying. Like, we don't have big platforms. We're not pushed forward, and it's always the celebrities. There's always the celebrities that are like pushed forward. It's always the celebrities that are most seen. But when regular people, when everyday people, well, regular. I don't really consider myself a regular person, but when everyday people like do stuff or say stuff, they don't. Nobody sees them, more or less, or nobody acknowledges them, more or less. And I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. And another thing that I don't think, it's the whole, there's like this vibe. There's this one thing to stay in the background vibe that needs to stop, because I lived my life like that for a long time, and I did a lot of great things. Not in sports, not in athleticism, not in academics, but in real life. Like, I helped a lot of people. I helped a lot of people. I had to go through some very heinous stuff, and I came out on top. And and because I wanted to, and I did the things in a way that I would be in the background because I didn't want people to know me. But now I'm kind of paying the price for it. I'm kind of, because now there's like I have this kind of like cry wolf kind of thing going on, where it's kind of like you're telling people, yeah, I did this, I did it, it's me, I did it, but nobody believes you because nobody saw you. You didn't make any noise. You didn't talk about it. You didn't tell anyone. You just did it. But if you want to stay in the background, then what happens to people in the background? They disappear. You don't want to disappear. So you need to kind of like find a way to rearrange a little bit of that ideal of wanting to stay in the background, because at some point it's going to catch up to you. That wanting to stay in the background shit is going to catch up to you, and you're going to have a cry wolf kind of thing where people are going to be like, well, we don't know you, we never saw you, we never heard you, so we don't believe you. So don't stay in the background. And I understand that, idea, because I used to be like that when I was younger. I used to say those kind of things too. I would, I'm a background kind of person. I like to stay in the background. Well, if you stay in the background, you're gonna die. If you stay in the background, you're gonna die. You're gonna disappear. If you paint a picture, the people who's if you paint a picture, who's gonna disappear first? The people in the back, because there's less paint on it. I don't need as much paint to make the people in the background that I need to do the people in the front. The people in the front are gonna stay longer because there's more paint. But the people in the background, they're gonna fade away slowly. Eventually, you won't be able to see one of them. And I don't really push this forward because a lot of the new coming, the up and coming warriors and the up and coming walkings and chosen ones and spiritualists and mystics, they think like we used to think, but and the world didn't change in some shape or form, but it did change on certain aspects. Like spirits are doing things a little bit differently now because we already tried a lot of things and those things didn't work. Like staying in the background is not working. And you can't stay in the background anyway. Because if you stay in the background, that's how you get shot. And what I mean by shot is not like shot with a gun. It's like that's how you get holes fill in you. That's how the Illuminati can get you. Because you in the background. Ain't nobody know you exist. Stop saying in the background, bro. Like as long as you stay in the background, people are gonna mess with you. And you would think like I'm not. The more you try to not gain any attention, the more attention you're gonna gain, and you're gonna gain negative attention, not positive attention. So don't stay in the background. It's not a. It maybe in the '90s that little trick would work, and it is a very '90s thing to do. But back in the '90s, the underground existed. Like back in the '90s, there was such a thing as an underground movement. Nowadays, there's nobody there for you. There's no underground. The Illuminati is the underground. There is no underground. It's done. It's dead. Gone. Been a couple years now, actually. It's gone. There's so you ain't got if you stay in the background, you got zero support and zero backup. There's no one there to help you. Everybody's on the forefront. You got to step up. You got to step forward. You got to get out of the shadows. Not because you're looking for attention, because spirits since 2012 when the earth ended, because the end of the world was actually in 2012. So when the renaissance when with this new spiritual renaissance started, because everybody died and was resuscitated into new beings, new types of beings, uh the spirits gave us a different type of ability, and those abilities are connected to the self, which those abilities was always connected to the self. Everything is always connected to the self, but they gave us, we used to understand that, but now they gave us access to it. So henceforth, nowadays, if you stay in the background, you're kind of losing power. You're losing spiritual strength if you stay in the background. And before 2012, that wasn't the case. Before 2012, if you stayed in the background, you would gain more spiritual strength because you would be staying away from all of the distractions and all of the nonsense. So henceforth, you would like accumulate more spiritual power and you would be more connected to nature because you would not be connected to this media, technological, social engineering, mental programming, conditioning stuff that's going on. Back before 2012, that was the case. But nowadays, spirits gave us access to be able to access everything for some reason. Maybe that's above my pay grade, or maybe I'm just not wise enough to understand why that is. But I do know that it is. So nowadays, the power set that they gave us is they gave us back our voice. They gave us back our voice. So now the more we speak, the more power we attain. The more we show ourselves, the more power we have. So I know this might be complicated and hard for you to understand. You might not accept it, or you might find it hard to accept, but eventually you'll notice that it's true, regardless. But if you are capable of understanding these words, I would say to don't stand in the background anymore before it's too late. And it is a warning because I did that. I'm a 90s baby. And I was an underground kind of person. I wasn't into the whole popularity contest, rat race, stuff like that. I wasn't into that. Like if people went right, I went left. If people went left, I went right. Like I didn't like when people liked things. Like I would be like, okay, this group is really cool, and then they would be like super popular, and I would not like them anymore because they're popular, right? So I would do that, I understand where you're coming from, and as a person like that, I'm telling you, today I'm facing the repercussions of standing in the background all the time and not letting myself be known and not being out there. Because nowadays, nobody sees me. Nowadays, nobody sees me, even though I've been around forever. Nobody knows me, even though billions of thousands of people saw me. It's like I never even existed. So you don't wanna stay in the background. Staying in the background is not a good idea, and it's gonna catch up to you, because that's what staying in the background does. If you stay in the background too long, it's gonna catch up to you. And then when you're gonna be faced in you're gonna have conversations with regular people, not on YouTube. You're gonna have conversations with people, and whatever you say will not be believed because that person's perception of you is that you don't exist or you never existed. It doesn't matter what other people think, of course not. But just because it doesn't matter, that doesn't mean he's wrong. There's a sign. There's a kind of truth behind it. There's a spectrum on a specific spectrum. There's a truth behind it. And this is not mandatory. I'm not making this mandatory. It's not something I'm not. I'm aware that You have your own line of thinking, and you probably know what's best for you more than anybody else, and stuff like that. But like I said, I understand you. I come from the same line of thinking, and if that's not enough, if people's perception of you, what they might think of you later, doesn't matter to you, well, think about it this way: that some of the power that we can access today, that people like to talk about, we're gods and we're creators, we're manifestors and stuff like that, stems from stepping into the light and out of the shadow. No pun intended, no offense meant. And what I mean by that is not seeing God and Jesus Christ and shit like that. What I mean is being yourself. What I mean is, are you finally going to be yourself? Are you finally going to be who you are? Because as long as you don't do that, and you stay in that dark corner, then your power is not going to flourish. And some people call spirit, whatever we call spirit, they call it God and stuff like that. So if you do truly believe in God and stuff like that, and I'm telling you, spirit is trying to give you this power, or they already have given you the power, but now you have to understand how it works, which is what I'm trying to explain to you right now. Then wouldn't that make you kind of like disobeying God or something? I mean, if you like him so much. So, yeah. So yeah, man, I don't think it's cool to steal people's identity like that. I don't think it's a cool thing to steal people's identity like that. I don't think uh that we should let this slide. I don't think we should let this slide, bro. We should not let it slide. We should absolutely not let it slide. It's not something that we should let slide. It's too much. It's too brazen. And for something that horrible too. Because like I said, there's some people that don't even believe that rape culture exists, even though it's very prevalent. Like the dudes that we got out here, the alleged, the accusatory the accusatory people I call men out here are very rape culture fans, kind of sycophants, you know. And it should stop. It should stop. It's absurd and ridiculous. It's absurd and ridiculous. It's tacky. It's tacky, dude. We got some cool shit on deck that we would like to roll out, and we can't, and it's hard to roll these things out while these things are happening. And in some cases it's on purpose, because people that do that, mostly they're losers, and they don't have any confidence in themselves, and they don't think that they don't even see themselves as people, so they don't see other people as people either. So it doesn't matter to these people. It doesn't matter if God exists, or or if you can manifest things, whatever you want in your life, or some shit like that, bro. Like, cause they don't even, they're nowhere near close to even thinking like that, you know. So in some cases, it's on purpose. You know, the scare tactics. It's like a scare tactic to be like, well, I'm a fucking loser, so everybody else is gonna lose too. Since I'm a fucking loser. Sorry. And people do think like that sometimes. Even regular people. They didn't even have to do anything about what the Illuminati like. Regular people think like that too. Some people are like, man, since I'm a fucking loser, everybody's gonna lose with me. So yeah, man, that's that. It's fucked up, dude. Like to, and especially something that serious. Like it's fucked up to do that to someone. Just take away all of his like hard work, or all of his or hers hardships, actual real life hardships, and just make a fucking farce out of it, like a complete fucking joke out of it. Like it's messed up, man. And of course, like you think, oh well, it's just media. Yeah, but media is controlling reality. You're not controlling reality. The media is. Media is controlling reality. So if you don't control the media, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to live in their reality and not yours. And yeah, of course, you can manifest and shift and quantum leap and stuff like that. Yeah, totally, 100%. But you're still doing it within their perimeter. You're doing it within their world. You're shifting. When you're quantum leaping, when you're changing dimension, like I'm a multiversal entity, right? I'm a multiversal entity, right? But the thing about jumping from one multiverse to another, in this life, maybe I would need to be like I'm a fifth dimensional, and I'm a fifth dimensional multiverse traveler, right? Maybe if I was an eighth dimensional multiversal traveler, I would be able to see other worlds that are super positioned on top of the planet Earth, which would be another kind of Earth that would not be called Earth because beings would not be human, and it would be a completely different story. But when you're shifting from one parallel universe to another parallel universe, you're still on Earth. So the narrative remains the same. You might be more successful. You might have the things that you want, but you're still living inside of the perimeter that they created. So you might go live and do, you might shift, you might shift yourself, shift your universe, manifest, and end up in living in Dubai with your beautiful wife and son and daughter and shit. but the troubles of the world are still there. You might not be affected personally by it, but those things still exist. So there's no escaping the perimeter. There's no escaping the barren that you are within. You can escape your own personal limitations. Yes, absolutely. But unless you become an eighth, 12th, if that even exists, multi-dimensional traveler, you can't do that. You'll never see that. Because eighth, 12th dimensional multiversal traveler, now you could be like on a world that looks like everybody looks like they're a character in The Simpsons. Or you'd be on a planet that looks like Rick and Morty. Or just a planet where there's just animals and no humans, or a bunch of dinosaurs and no humans, or just humans and no animals at all, or some shit like that, or just no humans at all, or you're not even on Earth. It's just you're still in the same position in space and time, but the planet is completely different. But this ain't the case. The highest you can go as a human being is fifth dimensional. And fifth dimensional is pretty high because you're technically godlike. Or some would say you are God. And that's just fifth dimensional. And allegedly there's more than 5 dimensions. So, point I'm trying to make here is you might end up having all those things, but you'll wake up one day realizing that you're still on Earth. Like, and all the problems, all the troubles that you tried to escape, they're still there. It's just that now other people are living it except you. Or you just don't have to pay attention to it anymore. Personally, even though I'm capable of shifting energy and stuff like that, there's certain energies that are still capable. There's certain negative energies that are still capable of following me, even though I'm shifting energy. You know, so I don't even know. Of course, I haven't manifested my magnum opus here yet, but and I guess because of that ignorance, I don't know if those energies are capable of following me through a level of success that could be that high. I do not know. I have no idea. I do know that the higher you go, the less things you might see. But you might still see some things sometimes. So the point I'm trying to make here is, even though you turn a blind eye to the Illuminati can still see you, regardless, or if you're watching or not. And I feel like it's better to watch, it's better to look and be aware than to get blindsided by them. Because a lot of us might not be in a situation where their identity can get stolen. Maybe the type of life that you're living is not something that they taught about stealing yet, but they might. I have to admit, the only reason why they're stealing some of these people's identities, the reason why they're doing this is because, like it or not, your existence as the person that you are would actually help humanity evolve and become better. And this is why they're keeping the attention away from you. It's not that you don't get money. Is because they don't want you to wake up everybody else. They don't want to see the world grow. They want to see the world die for some reason, whichever it may be. But they want to see the world die. They don't want to see the world grow. And if they don't take attention away from you, well, the world is going to grow and it's going to become better. And we don't want that. So yeah, we're going to ridicule you. We're going to ridicule you. We're going to undermine your efforts. We're going to literally create a false persona that seems like it's you, but it's not, and then try to distort it, or they don't even need to distort it, and that's how you know it's a magic trick, because they're not even distorting the information. It's just this simple fact. The simple fact that they are acting like you completely steals the attention away from you. They don't even need to distort the information. Just saying it removes power away from you. I guess they have a small level of understanding, anyways. Because you would need a person that would be panicking, would actually try to distort the information. So if the person is not distorting the information, it's because the person actually understands that just the fact that he's taking the attention away from you is taking the attention away from you. And it needs to stop. And I'm sorry, guys, man. I mean, like, you got gays trying to because at first it wasn't they wasn't gay. We had to deal with, as it was actually, it was kind of worse before. It was kind of worse before because the people that we deal with wasn't acting gay. They looked normal. So it was even hard. Actually, it was even harder a couple years ago. It was even harder to explain these things because the people that were countering us was talking like us, dressing like us, talked like us, even think like us, look like us. So it was actually harder to explain something to somebody because you got this guy that looks perfectly credible, you know, like perfectly normal, telling you like what you're saying is bullshit. So I don't know if that makes it worse or yes, it does. It does it does make it worse when you got like a bunch of, like, flamboyant, gender curious people, gender swapping people taking over your shit now. This is the level of this, and that stems from the whole idea of wanting to stay in the background. It's gone too far. Step out of the shadow. And stepping out of the shadow doesn't mean you're going to lose your shadow either. You just have to learn how to do it in a different way. That's all. That's why you need apocalyptic aftermath. That's why you need to learn the apocalyptic aftermath magic system that I created and invented. Through that, you'll be able to be yourself. You'll be able to have a voice. You'll be able to be a shadow, even though you're walking in the light. You will be a shadow in the light. And I feel like this is what we must learn today. For some of us, for the people that want to stay in the shadow. I don't want to necessarily become famous. It might happen because I'm the shit. It might happen. I might become famous. But I don't necessarily want to be famous. I mean, and if I do become famous, yeah, I will become famous. I will. But not for the right reason, not for the wrong reasons. I'm not gonna be famous because I'm gonna be on GQ magazines and shit like that. I'm gonna be famous because I'm gonna be doing things that's gonna help humanity. And it's not my face that's going to be famous. It's gonna be my company. It's gonna be the business that I create that's gonna be popular, not me. And that, I guess, in essence, that's in essence, I feel like that's one of the ways that you can be a shadow in the light. And personally, that's my businessman talking aspect right now, but I feel like that's the way to do it, to be quite honest. I feel like that should be the number one way to do it. So we can't let the gays win, man. Because the gays, it's not even about the gays, not even about the people of different gender, the people that are interested in same sex relationships. It's about this little mishap only goes to show us how much we stopped caring. This is not the Illuminati's doing. This is our doing. We're responsible for this. This is just what happens when you don't care about something. It rots. It's like leaving food. It's like you leave food on the counter. It'll go bad. So it's not even at the end of the day. And there's power in there. And you should take what I just said and you should accept it because there's power in there. It's better to feel is you have more power when you accept that all the bad things in the world is your fault. There is. If you accept that everything bad in the world is your fault, that makes you more powerful instead of saying it's his fault. Because if it's his fault, that means he has the power to do those things. If you say it's your fault, then that means you're the one that has the power to have those things happen. But now we got to fix it too. And if you have the power to create this, that means you have the power to create something better. So let's create something better. Because we can do a whole lot better than this. Obviously. So, anyways, I think I said enough. Reverence to the Lord Lucifer and the infernal kingdom and all the dwellers therein. Have a good day. Have a good one. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.